Hey guys, I have Allen Martinez here from Noble Digital. You guys know him, he's on the SKOOL Pro group. He's gonna tell us a little bit more about what he does. I have no idea, so this is gonna be a real treat. I'm gonna learn something, you're gonna learn something, so let's check it out. Let me try this again.
I want you guys to listen to me.
Yeah.
I design sandwiches. My name is Szekely and I talk about the business of design. I talk about a lot of stuff.
My name is Chris Doe and I talk about the business of design.
At the center of this operating system, it's about understanding.
Jose, can we just tell him what the show title is?
I hate you, dude.
You are watching The Process.
You guys recognize the sales funnel. You guys have seen this before.
What's in the sales funnel?
Sales funnel is just the journey between top of funnel to the bottom of the funnel, which is like, I've never heard of you, to I'm kind of interested, or what is this, to okay, I'll find a little bit more, to okay, I'll give it a shot, to I'll buy it, and then this is more about the money part, but then the delight and referral part and people sharing. We're gonna actually put numbers to this. We're gonna assign a number. So cost per customer acquisition.
Cost per customer acquisition.
To get someone to buy your
A
service.
product.
Now your service, if you don't mind me asking, is like maybe break down tiers.
Our most expensive product is $1,200. That's core 360, right? And then going down from that, the individual modules sell for $500. Then we sell a subscription. Annual subscription is $250 sub, right? Then we sell AIB, which is, I believe, $200. AIB, and then a monthly membership for $25.
Okay, so that's the lowest entry point.
Yep.
And below that is, it's a $0, it's YouTube, right? Are you subscribing to YouTube?
Yeah, that's correct.
What's that worth to you? Let's put a dollar figure on it. $1? Let's put $1 down.
Okay, $1. But we're not selling that.
You're not.
That's what we're paying to get it.
Correct.
So it should be here?
Well, we're talking about the value. We're going to get to the value.
Okay.
Right. But that is like something, that's a goal.
All right.
So these are your goals. The most important goal is to make as much money as possible. Let's be honest here, right? So if we can't get
If you're asking me, not Jose. If you're asking me, yes. Jose's to have fun and make friends.
As far as margins, it's not like you made a hard product that cost you $5 to sell for $10, for
Correct.
example. So it's really 100% margin.
Almost.
All the time you spent developing, you still got to get paid for that. But let's just say,
For intents and purposes, let's say it's free.
sure.
All right, now what?
So what are your goals for this year?
To increase our monthly recurring revenue. Right now we're doing about 8K.
Okay, write that down.
We want to get to
Let's write this
here.
somewhere over here. So per month,
Monthly
you're making,
recurring revenue, MRR, is about 8K right now.
Okay.
Okay, we want to get to 20K.
oh, okay. So you want to
That's
triple.
our new. So by end of 2016, 2017, we need to get to 20K.
Okay.
So what else? What's the next step?
So, and here's the part, and I'm going to share, this is what direct marketers do. They would go to a company,
Yeah.
and they say, how many do you want to sell in a year? And like, usually it's a bigger company. They would say, okay, we want to sell 1 million units to make, whatever, $2 million, right?
Okay.
They would then say, okay, so that's our budget. They would say that is our budget, $2 million of ad spend to go for it. And what you're trying to do is get the CPA as low as possible, the cost per acquisition. So if you spend $2 million and you make $2 million, right? You broke even, and that's not ideal. So all you're trying to do is drive down the CPA. You're hoping that you're going to spend $1 million to make $2 million, or hell, $500,000 to make $2 million. It's never going to be zero, obviously, but it's going to be something. Let's talk about the people. Where's this money coming from? Like, where's 10 or 20 or 50% of the money coming from? Like,
What
a person
market?
or a city, or
Yeah, well,
what's
I'll tell you the
obvious, what's
markets.
obvious from the data?
The single biggest traffic driver is probably from YouTube onto our landing page, right?
Okay.
And our audience is broken up like this. It's US, it's India, and then it's the UK.
Okay, is there kind of an age group you're seeing that's standing out? 20s to 30s, or is it more seasoned people?
I would say it's late 20s to 40s, somewhere in there. And then we check, this is YouTube data, then we compare it to Shopify data.
Yes.
And they're
They're tethered together right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just manually though, how we look at it. We study.
there's
no automated.
Doesn't Shopify have a way to integrate your analytics?
So guys, tip number one, guys. Tip number one, since we're using Shopify, we want to tie our Shopify analytics to our YouTube analytics to see what patterns are happening. Right now we don't. That's why I reached out to you and said, somebody help me with some basic analytics.
Creative, the videos, right? That's like top of funnel.
Messaging, branding, all that
Messaging
stuff.
to get to the website. That's middle, now they're
Yeah.
interested, right?
Right.
And as you get to the IT stuff, that's when you have like the data. All this stuff has to go into buckets. So you have like your Java code, right? And your segmentation of buckets. You guys know what a bucket is? It's basically the personas. These are the personas.
Yeah,
But I want to start
we have our
understanding-
personas. We know what they are.
Right, but you know what they are from your limited data, and then
Right.
then there's the marketplace speaking, which is actually going to tell you what actually is happening, and then you have to make adjustments according to the actual data. So it's like you're testing, and the reiteration comes from, oh wow, it's like these people in India. Maybe we need to do something that has that kind of slant to it, so we can attract them more. Maybe they deserve their own video. Maybe bring in like an influencer from India to speak on one of your things, and suddenly that lights up the Indian audience, for example. When you make those personas, you can also challenge using data. Not like sometimes they're up high in the sky, like talking to a company there a few months ago, and they're like, "Hey, this is our audience," and they really thought it was this woman. Okay, I asked the guy behind the counter who actually delivers the pizza. I go, so tell me. He sat down with me, and he started telling me, actually, I would. He's like, yeah, I agree with that, girls. But when I get there, there's always a guy on the sofa. I'm like, okay, it's a couple. Like that's a different story. Now that helps me understand what the message is, or maybe if it's a video, maybe if it's comical, it's a boy and a girl.
I get it.
It just leads to everything, but it's all based on the actual data.
I get it.
These are some really big. Let's break these apart. This is your really big winners, right? These two.
Well, I'll tell you what our best sellers are.
Yes.
Our best sellers are here.
Go for it. Like percentage-wise?
Percentage-wise, I would say it's split between core and AIB.
All right, let's make a new CPA. We're gonna invent this one. Chris Doe, how much would you spend to get someone to pay $1,200?
As much as possible, as much as necessary. Not as much as possible, as much as necessary.
50%?
50%.
Okay, so we'll say $600. That's the CPA for that. For this one?
I would think they're all like about half. I'd spend about half.
So you'd be, okay, so we just...
That's a 2-to-1 conversion, man.
Yeah.
I'll do that all day and night.
Okay.
You would average all those together, right?
Yep.
1,200 plus 500 plus 250 plus 200.
I'll leave out the YouTube
25.
for now.
Yeah, leave out the YouTube.
Divided by one,
You'd
two,
actually
three.
have to add 500 3 times because there's 3 different products.
Okay.
Then you would divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That
7.
number divided by 7.
The number I came up with is not too far off. It's 507, but we'll make it $500.
Okay.
What do you consider a lead? They haven't paid yet. YouTube was one of them, right? YouTube is an awareness, but like we'll say
If they get to the Shopify page,
okay,
I would consider a lead. That's the data I'm looking at now. So on average, we get about 80 people hitting the Shopify page.
there's an email. Isn't there email like a newsletter to sign up?
Yes.
So we're talking newsletter and Shopify page is worth something if they get to that far. YouTube, and what else we got besides YouTube for awareness? Facebook.
Facebook.
Okay. What else?
We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and LinkedIn. The usual social media or channels,
I'll let
right?
you do that. My fingers.
What's going on? Fingers not working. YouTube.
They're not working.
Twitter.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So, so we have Shopify page. Is there anything else for leads that you have? There's no phone call, obviously. There's no
phone
Is there
call.
a chat thing, a little chat box?
Yeah, people might instant message me.
I am.
They will instant message me and talk to me about stuff, and then I do close sales that way. So if they reach out specifically asking about this, you know how on Facebook you can message somebody directly?
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I am on
Oh,
Facebook.
Okay.
That's usually how they reach out to me.
Okay.
And I forgot there's other things that we do. We do lectures and workshops,
Absolutely.
so that should be in there.
Yep.
And we have press.
Yeah.
We get press. So we know that there's a spike when we do press, or if
Okay.
there's or we do cross-channel promotions.
Okay.
Should I put that up here too?
Yep.
Yeah.
So what would we consider a trial? I already have an idea.
What do you mean?
The next one's trial. What do you?
I don't know. When you wrote that up there, we don't have a trial subscription.
Does this feel like a trial to you?
It is. That's why we created that.
Yeah,
We created
it says
'cause
lower tier.
It's low tier. Let's
Otherwise,
try it out.
there's too much of a gap.
Yeah, that's true. And we were finding out that when people sign up on this, they very quickly buy a product.
What's the conversion rate on this? Please tell me.
I'm only going to guess right now, but I would say it's at least 50%.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I see they buy, and within 10, 15, 20, 30 days, they're buying something else. they're probably going to go into
Okay,
either
so now we have a
AIB or
cycle.
something
So
else.
50%, 10 to 15 days. Is when,
Okay, let's just say 15 to 20 days.
okay.
Sometimes they buy it in 3 days. It's really weird because they just want to know that we're real.
So what you're talking about, really? Is that
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
So these are two different cycles. These are two different kinds of people, a 3-day person and a 15 to 20-day person.
Yeah.
Do you
I
know
would
what-
say they're more this side than they are this side. They're more on this
Okay,
side.
but how,
Takes a little
like
while.
80-20?
Yeah.
Who are these people, the 3 days? Do you know anything about them yet?
They're usually business owners that already know us.
Okay. Business owners that know you
Yeah.
or were referred by someone in you.
They know us through the community, right?
Okay.
It's not going to be some kid in Turkey. It's
And
just
then,
not
so
gonna,
then there's everybody
They've seen
else.
us.
Then there's everybody else.
Yeah.
So this is like the realistic cycle for the world, for the
That's the
global
more-
domination of school. All right. This is good. This is good. So I want to consider, I'll let you do the writing again. I want
Okay.
to consider monthly subscription your trial and anything else you want to.
well, we've been thinking about this, right, Aaron?
And any other ideas you have?
Yeah, that we have. We're going to give sample docs. You can download some sample documents.
Like
So
one of the ones from the live, from your
from the
live-
kits. You just download them, look at them. So you know how Amazon
white
does
paper.
like 20 pages? We'll give you the first 20 pages. Check it out. It's legit. That's it. So read that if it's
White
good for
papers.
you.
We'll call it a white
okay.
paper. Anything else?
That's all we got for
Okay.
now.
Okay. And then for delight and referral, what are we talking about?
Well, how we delight the customer is the people that are brave enough to join us and share the decks, we start to have real conversations and they're getting free business coaching from me. Oftentimes when I'm driving, I would just call up a random member, whoever wants to give me their phone number, I call them up. I check in on them, like high touch customer service from me and Jose.
Okay.
Because we're on the forums and we're commenting and giving people feedback all the time.
Yeah.
That's how I think
That's
we
your customer
delight.
service.
It is.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's it.
Yeah. So from calls to emails to documents, you get it.
Yeah.
And how do we delight you? You know what? You make money. Our customers make money.
So if this is 500, maybe we'll work our way up backwards. So this is like 100% of what you'll pay. And of course, you could spend less, great. How much do you pay for a trial? Of the $500, how much, would you pay for a trial?
A trial subscription of $25.
Yeah. What's it worth to you? Let me ask you another question. Let me do this a different way, actually.
You want the cap?
Forget about this. Of the people, you said it was 50% to do this?
I think about 50% who buy the subscription
Okay.
become customers.
So, would 250 make sense to get someone to do a trial? To allocate some of that?
That's a lot though, because they're going to buy probably AIB or this. So you're saying I'm spending half of it already.
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm trying to see, it might be part of this whole CPA, like this is like this stage. Just this stage alone to get to a purchase. It's like part of the $500.
I don't know, let's say $200. I'll just throw out a number, okay? Because we're getting half of a half. Because we're spending half of our budget and only half of them are going to convert, so I have to kind of be mindful of
But
that.
what we're talking about here is a scale thing. It's a scale issue. And my question to you is like, when you get to more users, do you have other items to sell them?
We will.
You will.
I will.
Great, then you definitely want to scale. Okay, so 50%, we'll say $200. So then what's a lead worth to you? How much?
Less, obviously.
Of course. But how much?
Well, it depends on the conversion ratio, dude.
What percentage of these people convert to here? What's the total conversion rate right
It
now?
used to be sub 1%, and now it's about 2.5%.
It's great. That's the average actually. But that's good.
What, 1% or 2.5?
2 to 3% is the average for e-commerce sites in the world. If you're
All right.
above that, you're doing above.
Right.
You're doing really well. If someone comes to your website, learns about you from YouTube, out of 100 people, how many people actually might do the $25? Or do we talk about 1,000 people?
2.5%.
Okay.
Out of 100 people that hit the
okay.
Shopify page, 2.5% were converting to buying something. So the minimum they're going to spend $25, and sometimes they'll drop $1,200 to
Right.
get the Core 360.
So what I'm doing here, this is just the website. Facebook has its own little funnel. YouTube has its own funnel. TV, whatever you're going to do, right? Like everything has its own little funnel before they get to the website.
Right.
And so, this is what we can control the most. This gets harder to control, and that's the art of advertising and digital, all that. But I'm going to make this up. So we're at $200, and you were kind of not happy about that number either. But I would say for a lead, you should be able to pay like, I don't know, $25.
Sure.
Ish. We're making this up because we don't know, but I think we need to plug a number in just to start with, and you'll know right away, like, oh, this doesn't work. After time, after we start pumping some volume up, this number might be too low or too high. We'll know right away. Right now, we don't really know. So for awareness, maybe it's worth $1 to get someone to sign up, right? Or
it's worth that. I'd spend that.
Or maybe $10. Is $10 too high?
A little bit, maybe $5, but I would pay easily $1. Because if it means somebody who's going to go to and sign up for the newsletter or watch our episode and subscribe or something like that, then it's worth it.
So once they purchase, that is your CPA. So technically, you actually have $500 to work with here.
All right.
Understand? So we have to redo these numbers. You have $500 to distribute per person. So that we're talking about, as they go down the funnel, they're worth more, right? So how much per person?
Maybe it's 300, 200, and no, it's got to be different than that. Maybe 50, 100, and then the remainder, 350.
So how much
right?
is
50 for awareness.
Okay.
Right? You're saying add all those up to be 500, right? And then 100.
Okay.
And then 350.
So yeah, when you start getting someone down this funnel, they're worth more and more. And so maybe these things should become more valuable to keep the flow going. The point is, it's like when we're spending money on media spend, and they're clicking through to this point, and then they're clicking through to here to this point, and then they're clicking through to download this. Like every stage, we're going to be having drop off, and now we're left with 100 people or 100,000 people, and now we're down to like 10,000. Now we're down to like 1,000, and now we're down to like 100 people when we're down here. Mm-hmm. And that's your 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, that means, so if you
That's
want
the average.
50%, 250.
If I want 2x ROI, I have to spend half.
Right. By the way, you might want to go 100% like 1-to-1.
I can do that.
You might need to do that for a minute.
Sure, I can believe that. But I was just saying the normal model.
Yeah. That's where we want to, look, the reality is we want to start with the $500 and drive it down to 250 over time. But we want to be everywhere and go, okay, that's not working, this is working, let's put more money here, and we want to start just crunching this down to start getting metrics that are performing.
Okay.
This is performance. It takes time and money, and
I got it.
And we can speed that process up as much as you want. But as long as we're not losing money, we can speed up even faster. If you're below, like if you're not upside down, we should be increasing the budget every month.
Yeah.
Until it starts to break or fall apart or not make sense.
Right. Okay, let's review here. So what you're doing is you're facilitating me in trying to figure out how to convert, what it's worth, et cetera, down to very granular things. So anything that's e-commerce especially is going to be very attractive.
Yes.
Right?
E-commerce
is that where you're strong?
Bottom line. E-commerce is all
that's where you're strongest, right? Because it's all data driven.
Yeah.
Other stuff is like too touchy-feely. We just don't know. Here's what I think. If we had certified teams of specialists, and I would say your specialty, conversion, down here, data, conversion.
We would call it
a
conversion funnel.
Conversion funnel as a strategist for conversion.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a strategist for social,
Right.
because somebody else out there is doing an amazing job. We don't know. And then we're strategists for the brand top of funnel.
Right.
And then if you get the lead, you bring us in to do the top. We get the lead, we bring you in to do the conversion funnel, right?
Right.
That's how I see now how to use you. What is it going to take? So if it's Lance Mayfield, if it's Ben Burns, and they get a good gig and they want to do conversion, they want to bring you in to do this part of it, what's the rate? You can give me a range, you can give me a rate, so that at least now I can walk around. It's like, if the engagement is of this size, I cannot call Al in.
Sure.
What is that rate?
Sure. I would say 5,000 to 10,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Al needs to have some kind of quicker, leaner version of this to demonstrate value. Here's how I look at it, Al, and we've talked about this on the call before, which is give them the Trojan horse. Give them something easy, very attractive, so you can get going. Because once you are in, you can prove your value very easily.
Right.
For example, this is often how it goes. I go meet with a prospective client. You know, they look at the deck, we talk, and they're like, okay, we're ready to do strategy with you. And if I smell that this is an e-commerce play, then I say, okay, well, my strategy rate's going to go up a little bit because I'm going to bring you in. Just to do that part of it, which is to facilitate it with me during the 2 days. You'd come in on the second day because you need to be there for everything else.
Yes.
I would brief you. I'd give you the materials. You'd come in. You would run this part.
Yep.
How long would it take you to do this part? A couple hours? An hour? So then what would you charge? Come in for that hour or two and then go do your work and then come back and say, guys, here's the unified recommendations. Chris, you really need to recommend to design the website this way because we know this, and that.
Right.
Well, is that still the same to 5 to 10?
We can talk about that because it just depends on, maybe there's a way for me to go in a different way and not have to make a whole.
What are you thinking? Off the top of your head, because I want to make
$2,500, $5,000.
Okay,
You know,
something
simpler
like that.
engagement.
Okay, yeah, simpler engagement. Let's say 3. So if you guys want to bring him in just for this, now I'm not talking about all the other work because there's still a lot more work to do.
Yeah.
Just to get started, so that you guys can be thinking, all right, maybe on a $12,000 engagement you can bring him in, because if you're paying out 3 out of 12, that's about the threshold, right? A quarter of what you're bringing in, because you still have to get paid for all the development and the time you spent. So if you're at that point where you're looking at a 12+ K engagement for strategy and there's an e-commerce component, you can bring Al in for right now while it's still affordable for 3K to run that with you, and he'll do a little bit of homework, he'll put it together, you guys will have this unified team, and you'll be a team of experts. And I like that idea a lot. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope this was helpful to you. I learned a lot myself, and there's a definite way that you guys can integrate what Alan is doing with Noble Digital into what you're offering, and I think it's going to be valuable to your clients as well.